Good morning and welcome to the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Women's Curling Championship live from Stratford, Ontario. We are coming to you from the Stratford Rotary Complex for the last women's round robin game. My name's Danielle Inglis and I'm joined in the booth this morning by the Curling Canada coach mentor, Sean Turriff. Good morning, Sean.
Hi, Danielle. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Glad to be here. And this morning's matchup, we've got a good one for you. We have Team Nova Scotia sitting at the top of Pool B at 7-0 from the Halifax Curling Club, taking on Team Alberta 2 from the Calgary Curling Club. They are currently sitting at 5-2 and fighting for a spot in the playoffs. So we should have a good one out here, Sean.
Yeah, I expect at this point in the week, with what's on the line for these two teams, we'll have a really good matchup.
And we're just about to get underway here. As you can see, it is Team Alberta who will have the hammer here in the first end. So you've been here all week, Sean. Talk to me about what this week has looked like from a playing standpoint and also off the ice feel.
Well, it's been quite different than, I don't know, your normal Canadian junior, New Holland Canadian junior. Just because the field's been expanded. So from in terms of the play, even the pool setup and that kind of thing is new to everybody. Surely a number of teams it's their first time at a national, and new is new. But for some teams who've been here before, even that's different. Just the way it's set up, and so it very much has been. I mean, everybody's embraced it. Everything's new to everybody. So it's been kind of a fresh look, and not a negative look by any stretch. Just a fresh look. On the ice, the play's been really good. The ice surface is unbelievable. I was in the booth yesterday with Joel Kratz, and he was saying he was throwing some practice stones after the games were over, and the ice was just like it had been in the pregame practice in terms of speed and curl. So it's been a fantastic surface for the kids to play on. And off the ice, the hotel, so one of the things that's provided for the players is a player lounge, and just a place for them to hang out and mingle and such, and it's been busy every night, which is fantastic.
That is fantastic to hear. So we've got play underway with a straightforward end. Throwing lead stones for Team Nova Scotia, we have Kate Fitzgerald. Kate is a respiratory therapist student at Dalhousie University. And throwing lead stones for Alberta, we have Kate Ector, and she is a psychology student at the University of Calgary. And something we've seen quite a bit, just banking some time in the first end, getting comfortable with the ice. You mentioned that the ice conditions have been pretty standard across the board, but I know that head ice technician Don Powell has had a heck of a time here because he's been thrown every type of weather out here. And the second for Nova Scotia, Allison Umla.
Happy birthday, girl.
Yeah, the weather's been crazy this week. Sorry, Danielle.
I just wanted to give a little shout out to Allison, who is a nutritional science student at Mount St. Vincent University. Yes, it has been.
One day we woke up and the cars were covered with ice, and then today I bundled up because I was worried about the cold coming out of the hotel, and it's something like 12 degrees, so.
And Raylyn Helston throwing second rocks for Team Alberta, and happy birthday to Raylyn. She is turning 18 years old today.
Pretty clean first end. Ladies just want to get their ice feet under them, so to speak, and get a sense of what the ice is going to do. Not in a big hurry to push for points here in the first end by any stretch. It's a long game. They know this.
Heartbeat. Nice out.
Exactly. We've seen a few teams get in trouble with the time clock too, so really making sure they get the time in the first end to give them a little bit more of a cushion for the rest of the game has been the key for some teams.
10, same way. Cut more.
So Raylan is a grade 12 student at EP Scarlett High School.
Nice, Raylan. Okay, nice.
Throwing third stones for Team Nova Scotia is Lauren Ferguson. She is in mechanical engineering at Dalhousie.
Okay, just clean.
And quite an accomplished player as well, playing in several other Canadian championships.
Okay. Just 10. Yeah, you got it, Kaylee. I'll give it to you. You got her.
Throwing third for Team Alberta, Kaylee Raniseth. This is an education student at Red Deer Polytechnic. Really, we're just seeing a continuation of the target practice this morning.
Big roll.
Noticed through the week, though, these shots aren't as easy on the surface, and some of the teams have been getting caught with the amount of curl that they're getting from like a 10-second peel. So at home, they may get like zero curl on a 10-second hit, but here you have to manage it. You have to manage the line a lot more carefully. Especially when they're trying to get the proper roll and keep their shooters in play. Some teams have gotten caught because they'll either sweep it too early to hold it and then miss the line as it sails on by, or they'll wait till the break point and then try and save it with brushing. And you almost can't. You have to really anticipate where that break point is. And it's a lot tougher on this surface than probably what most of these teams are used to.
That's a good point. Arena ice versus, say, their home club. Which is why it's so fantastic that they get the opportunity to play here. Because we're looking at the stars coming down the pipe for the years to come, the ones we'll be watching on TV. And they're going to have to get used to this type of surface. Oh, we did have a rollout here, so that will allow Nova Scotia to get a feel for their draw weight.
Yeah, in the pregame last stone draw, both teams had great last stone draws, all four of them, and we saw a hog-to-hog time of in and around 15.8 seconds. Pretty standard for the week, I think. Pretty quick, but wonderful.
And throwing skip stones for Team Nova Scotia, Taylor Stevens. She's doing her Bachelor's of Commerce at St. Mary's University.
Look up. Gotta go. All right, guys, go well.
It's like the Brushers really having to work this one. Calling a 3, that's not quite in the rings.
That's fine.
And that will come up short. So here's Alberta with a big opportunity.
Yeah, the nice thing about the ice, it does curl a lot, but we have seen that the brushers can have a huge impact. Brushing like that, I got a hog-to-hog time on that last guard of 17.1 seconds. and it's just a foot off the ring. So, I mean, brushers can really, really, really drag them, which is great for the players.
Now throwing skip stones for Team Alberta is Claire Booth. She's a kinesiology student at the University of Calgary.
Close. Line's good. Line's good. All you. T-line. Line's good. Come forward. T-line. Pass the curl. T-line. Line's good. Top line.
This has got great line. See, it finishes so hard, you don't want to come too close to that guard. And it'll just slip behind to the back four. Bit of a missed opportunity for Team Alberta. See, Nova Scotia with their last rock of this end, they will be able to freeze right to it and potentially force.
So like a 4:15?
Yeah, and an end where we thought maybe it was just going to be an easy blank. All of a sudden, it might, most definitely somebody I think is going to score here.
We got some excitement for the last four rocks.
Yeah.
Well, she just threw this path as well. So this will be Taylor's second attempt down the path. We're trying to sweep to curl, knowing it's heavy. They will chip it, but it looks like red is still shot at the back. So this will be a draw for two for Team Alberta.
A sneaky two.
What was the split on that one?
There are literally no rocks in play 4 rocks ago.
Okay, then a 4:15 probably wouldn't have even been close.
We saw it a bit last night on the live stream too, where just those key misses, it comes down to timing of them too. If the other team can capitalize it, it really can change an end.
If you end up giving us less, we can get it there, but you got it.
Last rock of the first end, Team Alberta with the hammer. Needs full 4 to pick up a deuce.
Lots of room. Go big. Yep. Hard. Gotta go. Yeah, you got it. Yep. Hard. You got it, girl. Hard. Yep.
Great line. Brushers really needing to work this to get to the 4 foot. And
Okay.
it is close. Want to have a quick look at it? One for sure. And it looks like they called for a measurement.
It's all good.
Got the official.
Yeah.
I'm betting. Eesh.
Oh,
I like to
that's a
bet on
close one, eh?
Betting red.
Red?
Yeah, we got our draw way down, so that's good. Yeah.
Oh, I'm kind of thinking it's red too, but just for fun, I'll go for yellow. Put a
right.
coffee on it.
Put a coffee on it.
Tim Hortons coffee.
That's us. Then I think we just go top 4. I like it.
Tim Hortons coffee for the win here.
Thought it was us, hey?
The win for Sean.
This is a close one, and at this level at the Canadians, it is the official who does do the measurements for the players.
No, I like it. I like the draw.
Yeah.
The only thing you could have done is take the other turn out of backing, but you just
I just threw that turn. That's the other, yeah.
Yeah.
So go to about the 3.
Oh no.
Oh.
And it is yellow.
No coffee for Sean.
So
Sad.
that will be a single point for Team Alberta here in the first, and we'll be back in a few moments with the second.
When the cab is your office, you'll never get tired of going to work. Spring, summer, fall. Season after season, New Holland offers the solutions and connected technology that you need. From seeding and spraying to the world's leading twin-rotor combine, New Holland has you covered from emergence to harvest. Visit your local New Holland dealer to learn more about how New Holland helps you get it done.
And welcome back to the second end of our feature matchup. Team Nova Scotia number 1, Team Alberta number 2. And it is a beautiful sunny day here in Stratford. A little bit windy, as you can see. Their last round robin game.
Really nice.
Got Team Nova Scotia 7-0. Team Alberta 5-2. Team Nova Scotia knows they're already into playoffs. Team Alberta, this is a big game for them.
Yeah, I think Nova Scotia's locked up the bye to the semis, so they're pretty happy. But at the same time, they want to stay sharp. And Alberta needs this win because there's a bit of a logjam in and around where they are. So they're going to want to really get a win out of this one.
So we're seeing a different approach to the second end with a guard being thrown right off the hopper.
Yep, it looks like Alberta wants to challenge Nova Scotia here. Maybe bolstered a little bit there from that last end. So here we go.
Line's good. Top 8.
Up 4. Clean. Back 4. Line only.
Let's see.
Back 4, back 8.
Really close to the guard. Yep.
Here, this rock is really diving, but as you've seen, there's such big finish. That was, they actually, good call to get a bit of a kiss off of it because it was going to be going heavy right into the back.
11.
You got her. Just 11?
Yeah.
Just 11.
So maybe I threw in my second one then.
Yeah, me too. Yep, I like it. You got her.
A hit called for Team Alberta. Kate Hector looking for that hidden roll, soft weight.
I think she's pretty safe to roll it inside. She'll be in front of the tee line. This one cutting too. This one cutting hard.
And that's where on this arena ice, you have to be very careful with how you release it. So you can see here, the sweepers had picked it up, but it was just going sideways. Make the contact, but doesn't quite remove the yellow rock from play. So big opportunity here for Team Nova Scotia to sink a second rock.
One of the things that's been impressive this week with all the teams, but I've done a lot of streams with the women's draw. Their weight selection on hits has been really mature. And what I mean by that is they're throwing appropriate weight to accomplish the shot. I think the weight on that last one, it was a good weight call. It just overcurled on them. That nice, easy weight gave them the best chance at getting a nice little roll there. They weren't trying to smash it out of the house. They were really trying to massage the shot down. And I've seen that a lot this week. So I think it's a sign of maturity from the field in general that they're choosing to play manageable shots rather than just thinking about the first step and getting that rock out.
Yeah, you got it.
And here comes another hit. Team Alberta looking for a hidden roll in towards the center. Needing to throw a little more weight to get the big roll. But this is also curling, needing to sweep it to get a good piece of it.
Good.
And they make the double.
Well managed shot. The brushes were on it early enough that they were able to prevent the break point from happening too quickly, and they got the good roll. They could have rolled on. They could have rolled. I did this yesterday. They could have rolled on top of the yellow one, and would have been all right as well. But the doubles fine. Doubles are pretty good option B there.
We've seen, well, we've already seen this morning how much this spot curls, and it's been like this throughout the whole week. So
Hard line. Okay, well then. Whoa.
the teams we can hear from the chatter, they're picking up on it, but they're not quite brooming it perfectly quite yet. You can see we've got a great weight here, a bit of an overcurl, so it'll be about half exposed.
Things like that. 12? Yep.
Okay. She was 12, guys. Okay, you got it, Raylan. You got it. Nice and positive.
And here's
Yeah,
that nice
yeah.
weight that you were talking about, Sean. Nice controlled takeout weight.
Yeah, I'll stick a clock on the hog to hog and see what we get. I think they're calling 12.
Yep. 11. Whoa. Yep. 11. Whoa. Yep.
Back forward.
Oh, good brush. She got by that guard by a square root of nothing. Hog to hog time, I got 11 seconds, so good call by the front end there.
What a sweep to get this one by. And
Yeah. Okay, good.
Jams on the back, but rolls away, all good.
Nice shot. Thanks. Ooh, good sweep. Yeah, that was a little scary.
this rock is open. Team Nova Scotia playing the hit and flop.
Okay, Kaylee. Nice. Good.
Came up to about nose. And same sort of spot for Team Alberta.
Try and get the roll.
Yeah, I think Nova Scotia would have preferred to have rolled somewhere with that one. Away or under, either or. That one kind of in the middle of no one's land there.
Yep.
12 down.
Hard.
12 5.
Hard.
Hard up, Raylan. You got it. Hard. 12 5. Hard, Raylan.
Another big scrub to get this by the guard. And they'll kiss off of it, but still make contact.
Just a
And-
little less weight on that one, Danielle. They've been throwing. I think earlier we said they've been calling 12. The really nice hit there earlier was 11 seconds. That one was 12 and then 12 and change. So you got a little more curl. Shows you how sensitive, weight sensitive the curl is on this sheet. Well, on all the sheets really.
Yeah, it completely makes a huge difference.
Clean. Close. Yeah.
Seeing her first inside-out hit of the game.
Hard, Allison. You got it. Hard, you got it. Hard, you got to go, not to jam. Hard. Anything.
And comes up to nose. What both teams have done well is avoiding the jams at the back.
Okay. Nice 10 here. Did you get a time on my lap?
No, sorry.
Okay. That's okay.
Well, I got a time on it, and it was 10.4. So, not sure that helps the teams at all, but I know it was 10.4.
10. Whoa.
10.
Whoa. Kate, clean.
10
Whoa,
down. 10
close,
5.
really?
Good.
Whoa, whoa. Yes.
Ten.
Yes, hard. Hard.
See the red rock just taken off.
Whoa.
Nice shot.
And
Nice
a
roll.
beautiful right behind the guard.
I talked a little bit this week about guard placement and how difficult it is to place a perfect guard because of the amount of curl. The depth of the guard is critical. Right now, that one's sitting on the New Holland logo, so you're looking at what, about maybe a little more than 6 feet. About 6 feet. Even that tight, you can get around those guards with quiet weight. Nova Scotia can absolutely, maybe not get to the nose of this, but they can get a good solid piece of it and probably hold the shooter.
And this will be on the guard. Looks like it wasn't quite enough weight. You see it just tapped the red one into the rings. So here comes that guard placement you were talking about, Sean.
Yeah, it's not just about line, and in a lot of cases, in our club play, for instance, just putting the guard in front of the rock you're trying to guard is sufficient. But on a surface like this, you have to think more about the path that the shooter is going to be taking to get to the rock you're trying to get to.
Like 6 feet
In this case, it doesn't I mean, it's less of an impact, but when there's more rocks in play, sometimes you can leave a hole, and the hole is there, but it functionally isn't there because there's no way to curl through it. They'll want to place this stone right directly in front of the rock in the house. The issue is how deep do you put it? If it's too tight, then there's a short run back. If it's too long, then a back line or a hack weight shot is able to come around and take the shot rock out.
So very precise guard needed from Skip Claire Booth.
Just fighting top 12.
Gotta go for fighting. Gotta go for fighting. Just fighting. Gotta go for fighting. Just fighting. Gotta go.
And just to compound it, the amount of curl makes it hard to place the stones as well. But what that means is the players just have to be more precise in their throwing.
Oh, we are.
And that's what we want to see. That's ideal.
Is it in? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good throw.
Alright, so a little tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
And with where that stone is, that
I
now
like this.
it's forcing Nova Scotia. They're looking to play the double on the Reds. 2 Reds that are in top 12 and in top 8.
Size. Let's make it. I like it third, a little less. Now third.
One of the keys here, I think, for Nova Scotia is they want their shooter here to stick around. They want it to be shot, ideally, but at least second shot with access to shot rock, so they can look further to.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Hard! Hard! Gotta go!
Anything
Another
for the roll.
roll. Hard roll. Hard, Kate! Okay.
And there's a roll, and it will not quite get buried, about edge on edge.
Bit of a tricky spot for Alberta now, though. They can. It's edge on edge. They can probably see the nose and punk it straight back. If they ever get a little bit high, the angle's set up there to kind of come off their own. But
Take a smidge more. Good. Just 11 here. Okay. On the nose is good.
Okay, you got it.
Looks good.
Nice and positive.
It is tricky, especially with that red guard there, too. Also heard Claire say, "Oh yeah, we've got this." So, a lot of confidence this morning out there. That's what we like to see.
stay away from the high side here if they can. Oof, got away with that one.
And they stuck the shooter around. So mission accomplished. And it was so important to stick that shooter around because now you see they're forcing Nova Scotia into a draw to the 4-foot for the single.
What are you thinking? 410? All right. Let's make it right on C.
Yeah, if that one had rolled out, there would have been it would have been the nose hit, practically the nose hit on the one on top four for two actually, because the late yellow one bite her at the bat. So that roll was critical to stay in the rings.
And we've got the last rock of the second end here. Team Nova Scotia with the hammer, needing a good chunk of the 4-foot for the single.
Take a look, take a look. Top four. T line. Running a hair. You gotta be T on this line. Back four. No. Just the T line. Sweep to T. You gotta be T. Take a look. I think you're okay, guys. I think you're okay. Whoa, 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 whoa.
And it will stick around for the single. We are all tied up here in our feature game. 1-1, and we will be back in a few moments.
Who was it?
into play. Look at that. Canada, say hello to your new champions.
Proudly pulling for this generation of Canadians and the next for over 40 years at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
And welcome back to the third end of our feature matchup this morning. Team Alberta taking on Team Nova Scotia. We are tied at 1-1. It's a beautiful morning in Stratford.
Don't need the tractor to bring me to the rink this week. Or today, I mean. Yeah, earlier, I wanted the New Holland tractor to bring me because the ice and the snow.
That's got some good tires on it.
Yeah, I mean, the traction would have been everything.
Nova Scotia starting it off. Going for the center line guard. Now over curl a pinch.
This one might be easier. Yeah.
They're almost acting like a corner guard for Team Alberta, though it is pretty tight to the ring, so that's usable for later for potential run.
Just a bit more than my last.
Yeah, I'm feeling like the New Holland logo is close to the depth for a guard to guard something sort of in the top 4 foot. That's the right depth. This one cutting hard towards that yellow stone.
When she put the broom down, I thought that might have been a little bit on the minimum side just because of how much it curls over the center. And we just saw the rock just really moving those last few feet.
Yeah, for the draw to the button, the last stone draw, they were taking about this amount of ice. Again, the sweepers can have such an impact that you can, I think you can err either way. You can err on the outside a little bit. You don't want to give minimum ice. If you give a little bit extra, you can probably get it to curl in there. But if you give a little bit under, it's tough to save.
Switch. Just Allison, you're big. Whoa, you're big. No.
You can see that movement, and it will stop just above T.
What was the split on the Aspen tails? 4-7.
And if they had had the ability to sweep it a bit more, they could have buried it.
Yeah.
So it was coming too deep, and they really wanted to keep that above.
We're going to 12 here.
So this week, a lot I've talked about the numbers you're hearing from players. You're hearing all kinds of numbers. You're hearing 10, you're hearing 3, you're hearing 70, you're hearing all kinds of things. And as the day goes on, I'll try and explain a little bit what they're talking about. The player there just asked for what the split was, and she said 470. And the split there is the time between the back line and the hog line during the delivery.
And beautifully done.
Another good brush there.
Really great team shot.
The issue with the split time there, that 470, is that it's very dependent on the player's release. It's not something you shouldn't necessarily do, but you have to really understand your player's release. As long as it's consistent and as long as you understand that there may have been a push or not, then that's okay to use. If you're ignoring that, then the splits can be a little bit deceiving.
Yes, they need a little bit more weight in order to have a flatter roll across, as you saw. Needed it to curl up. Still exposed.
Throw it 12. Try to get the inside roll.
Yeah. Give me a bit less than my last. Just 12 here?
Yeah. You got her.
Okay, you got it, Raylan.
So back to our numbers game. They're looking for 12. What they're talking about there is the hog-to-hog time. Teams will commonly use their hog-to-hog times to call takeout weights. 12 is, what, Danielle, heavy board?
Yep. This is taking right off. Big scrub to get this by the guard.
I got 11-6. So her weight was okay. Maybe the broom might have been a little tight, or she might have been just a touch inside on that broom.
Yeah, it looked like it was going almost right from the beginning.
Yeah. And I'm going to say again, it's really tough because of the amount of curl with any kind of weight. It still curls. I think intuitively from the clubs where I'm used to, maybe I'm imposing, but I'm used to, you throw a 12, 10, 11 kind of second weight and it's not going to move much. Here, you're going to get a foot and a half of curl at least.
Mine's really nice. I know me. Where?
Some clubs, that's draw. That's how much you take for the draw.
Lauren. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's a great card.
Beautiful. Only a tiny little piece poking up.
Again, it's that depth just inside the New Holland logo, and it's they can throw quiet weight if they want, but it's a little too dicey, so they're going to throw that straight run back. Worst case, they open up the center.
Make contact, and that will go right out of the rings.
That's
beautiful shot.
Really good shot.
Well called, well swept. Well thrown, and let's have another look at that. Big scrub off the bat. Make that contact, and both stones leaving the rings.
You also notice that she just hit off nose on that one, and it went right out. It's another factor here. These rocks are pretty lively. You're probably used to that if you're watching TV or live streams. The rocks are lively on purpose. You have to be just that much more precise if you want the nose hit.
It's gonna dive hard. Yes, 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 yes. Hard. Whoa.
And there's that dive. See just how hard it finishes, even with back 4 weight. So this opens the door for Team Alberta.
Yeah, they didn't want to sweep that one, but they really had to sweep that one. They didn't really want to crash off that centerline guard, but by sweeping it, it took it that extra foot heavy.
Okay. You could try the double. Peel. That's not bad. I think just 9. Try and make that. If you just peel it, it's fine.
Okay, you got it, Kaylee.
So they had a bit of a debate here on whether they were going to come around and draw or peel, and it looks like the decision was made to peel.
She could be running it back too. Maybe not on purpose, but she. Oh, there we go.
And they got that double. That was their. That was pretty ideal for them because they're, again, with the hammer, still leaving their corner guard up. But also, the downside of that is that now Team Nova Scotia has the opportunity to sink a second one in behind that guard. Go Team Nova Scotia. Third, Lauren Ferguson. It's her second rock.
Top 12.
Hard, girls. Hard, Pete. Hard. Get a rub.
And we see that over curl in the spot again, Sean, where it just goes sideways after the center line and a little bit light as well. But it does manage to guard the majority of that yellow rock.
Okay, you got it, Kaylee.
So now a bit of a different situation than 2 rocks ago.
Yeah, nice little kick.
The guards are all over off to the side in a corner guard position, so Alberta is going to draw. Really, they don't necessarily want to come right to the rock because then both will be behind the tee line, but as long as they're shot rock in the top 4.
Little soft. Close.
I didn't think it was tight.
Little up.
Hey, low.
Top 4. Back 4, back 8.
Whoa. T-line. Drill. Do you need
Back
backing?
8. T-line.
Do you need backing? Yep.
Hold on.
Yep.
Just T-line.
Hard line.
Back 4.
Yes, you gotta go for the backing. Hard. Nice
Nice shot.
And see, as that rock curled, it really came down in weight. You're hearing them call back line.
Right here. Yeah.
And it ended up coming down to about back 4, back 8. So as sweepers, you really have to take that into consideration when you're calling the weight, like how it's going to change over the ice. And do you have a straight spot? It'll probably run a little bit faster. If you've got the curl, it'll take some weight off of it.
Do you like your hair less? Okay. We'll leave it. We just need to be in front of it. What time? 4 times still? 4:15?
Bit of a question about the ice, but as we talked about, Sean, we've seen them walk right over there. So you've got to just trust in the broom and trust that you'll throw the right weight for it.
Yeah, that's one issue. That is one issue I think I've seen. Teams don't trust that it's going to curl. And so I've seen often where they're sweeping for it to go straight, and then they're sweeping for it to curl, and then, uh-oh, now we really got to sweep it to go straight. Because there's enough natural curl in this ice that...
And you got to trust that you're going to throw the weight that you're trying to throw, too.
Yeah.
Not trying to put the broom necessarily for plan B.
This is pretty ideal. Got the great angle on that red one in their sitting shot.
Beautiful.
Very difficult for Alberta to do anything there without moving their own rock out.
Let's have they were waiting for that curl, they had it, and then right at the end, that great sweep to keep the angle and sit shot.
Yeah, it's really thin. Just throw a 12, try and move it back. Okay, hit it really thin.
I don't know, but you're never spooling that yellow all the way open, are
You
you?
probably won't kill it, but
No, not with the 12.
no. I could throw more, I'm just a
You
little
have
worried.
3/4.
Yeah, I think it's just coming here.
I don't know if you try to get to the other side of
You
it or
want to throw
not.
more then? I just kind of want to stick around.
I know. Yeah, me too.
Like you,
I mean,
you
11
have
should
enough.
stick.
Yeah. That
You
I
just,
feel
like,
like getting to
push
the
it out a
inside's
little.
better.
Yeah, I think that's
Or
what
would you rather throw
Oh, okay.
Whatever you
I don't know,
see.
just like back
Well,
line
I
roll.
just want to make
Yeah,
sure we
I
get.
like that.
I think 11's okay. The red always catches on the yellow, so
Yeah.
yeah.
So it looks like they're calling it a hit, Sean. What do you think about this one?
Well, I just heard the comment the red always catches on the yellow. I'm not sure the red always catches on the yellow. I think a lot of times the red hits the top of the yellow and squirts off, and the yellow one stays there. So I think they have to be really careful here.
Okay, so where are you trying to hit it?
Just really thin.
On our side?
Yeah, on your
Okay. Okay, you got it.
Yeah, you got it.
I worry with the separation there that if they do hit it thin, they're going to drive that red one back and squirt the top yellow one. Well, I guess I wouldn't worry about that. I think that's ideal.
Yep.
This one taken off early.
Loud and fast.
Good brush though. She's holding it pretty well.
Loud and fast. Right up, Breland. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we need to
I just had my colors mixed
Well, I
up.
think it's just, that's
That was a great
always
shot.
what happened.
So see the separation. Looks like red is shot over yellow at the back 8 there. Just by a fraction, worth a look.
Nice.
I'm betting yellow.
Maybe even a hair more.
Would you like to put a copy on that again?
I don't know how many coffees I can afford.
Discard it.
So this is the last rock for Team Nova Scotia. And they
I
are,
didn't realize I was dead buried. Yeah, just block the path.
they're talking a bit about guarding it, but I'd really like them to see, I like the term, stick the knife in and twist it and really, really go, maybe even come in for second shot. But
420.
So you're betting that red is second shot now.
I think red is second shot. I think red is second.
Should have put a coffee on it. So good comment there too from the skipper saying she just wants to block the path. That's something we talked about earlier. It's not just a matter of blocking a rock or the face of a rock, but she wants to cut off the path that Alberta would have to get to the button, for instance, or to shot rock.
Clean.
In order to do that, though, they would have had to have gone out even wider because of how much it curls, which is why I would have liked to see them have really put one in behind and put pressure on. It's hard to have taken that any draw away from Alberta, but to put some pressure on, because now you're seeing it's basically just a draw to the button at this point.
Right. So what she's taken away essentially was just the tap, right, on the yellow one, on the shot rock, giving her, you're right, the draw to the button.
Yeah, exactly.
Still a little bit tougher. Alberta is having to go out a bit further than they had been all end.
And possibly Nova Scotia was thinking the force here is what they want anyway. So that could have been the thinking there. They might not be quite as aggressive as you, Danielle.
And our last rock of the third end, Team Alberta needs full 4 foot to pick up their single.
Close. Might be all there. Close. You're close. All you. Still T-line.
Line looks pretty good here.
Line's good.
Oh. T-line. Can't go. Gotta sit.
Needs it to sit in the 4 foot. And it will slide past, and it looks like it's going to be a steal of 1 for Team Nova Scotia. And we'll be back with you in just a few moments for the fourth end.
When the cab is your office, you'll never get tired of going to work. Spring, summer, fall. Season after season, New Holland offers the solutions and connected technology that you need. From seeding and spraying to the world's leading twin-rotor combine, New Holland has you covered from emergence to harvest. Visit your local New Holland dealer to learn more about how New Holland helps you get it done.
And welcome back to the fourth end of the feature matchup. Team Nova Scotia, Team Alberta. Team Nova Scotia with a 2-1 lead over Team Alberta with a steal of 1 in the third end. My name's Danielle Inglis, and I'm joined in the booth by Sean Turriff this morning.
Whoa. Over and off. Are you
And we're
over?
seeing, Sean, you've been here all week and as a mentor for the players, for the coaches here. Talk to me a little bit more about your role here and what that's entailed all week and the importance of it in a competition like this.
So Curling Canada provides a mentor coach for the coaches primarily at this event, and that's been going on, I don't know how long. And up until now, it's been the great Bill Shearhart who's been that person. We're a support role for a coach that needs help with things outside the board. So the role isn't to provide technical assistance or strategy or anything like that. It's more around team support, team dynamics, if you have issues around management of your team. And so Bill's been doing that for, like I say, quite a while, minimum 10 years. And Bill's decided he's going to step away. And they needed a replacement, and somehow they found me. So that's what I'm here to do. In terms of what that does, for the players, there's so many players, I don't get to interact with them very much. And to some extent, I don't want to impose on their time. Their free time is their time. It's great to see them mingling with each other. We do have a coaches lounge that we open every night, and the idea there being that the coaches can mix and share ideas. We have a couple of short formal sessions just to provide them some professional development and a chance to get some additional education. We only have a couple of those. Again, we don't really want to impose. The coaches are working hard, and the last thing they want to do is come sit in class, so to speak. But that's the basics, basically, of what I'm doing here. Not every coach shows up, and that's perfectly fine. We're here to be a resource, just something for them to rely on if they need it, if they choose to. The attendance this week has been really good, and it's really amazing. Last night we had a great session, and the coaches were, all the coaches are showing up like at 10 o'clock and after a long day, and they're all engaged with each other and having great conversations and sharing ideas and thoughts, and so it's just a very collaborative atmosphere, and that's my role now, taking over from Bill, that just to create that atmosphere and that possibility that they can have that experience.
It's fantastic because we're seeing that development all over. Like we talk so much about the player development and what we can do for them, but it's great to see that coach support as well.
Yeah, and last night's topic in particular, first of all, full credit goes out to Bill. It was Bill's idea, I think, to create this sort of role at this event because he saw the need and the opening for a place for coaches to get a little bit of interaction and experience and such. But further to your point there, the last night's session was about what we can do to help develop U21 players past U21. And there was some really, really great information that came from Saskatchewan coaches, and then we had a big collaborative session. And so it was just, I think it's something special with curling coaches. We all talk to each other like we're on the same team somehow. And I don't see that in other sports, and I apologize to other sports if I'm missing it, but I'm not sure there would be a collaborative coaches lounge at sport event X if it wasn't curling. So it's pretty heartwarming to see, and I think it's good for our sport.
Yeah, sport's in good hands.
You got it, Raylan.
Kind of our featured game, we saw the first 2 rocks were hogged. Team Nova Scotia putting their second one in the rings. Team Alberta trying to generate a deuce with the corner. Nova Scotia throwing up the guard. It's pretty well perfect, but a bit higher, and that's why we're seeing Team Alberta make a play at it. We need a big scrub to get it by the guard, though. And it will be on the guard. We're going to roll over to corner and lose the back one, so really not a bad result there. 2 corner guards in play. Really forcing Nova Scotia to have to play the perfect guard over and over again. And we talked earlier about how difficult that can be on ice that has this much curl. It's really all about managing the brushing when you're brushing before the break point, after the break point.
Yeah, and that's the way it is everywhere, with all curling everywhere, even at your club. But it's so much more drastic here. The break, it doesn't break a foot here. It breaks on a draw. It could break 6-7 feet.
Okay.
And we saw here, this is over curled and leaving the rock mostly exposed.
Yeah, and that yellow guard, unfortunately, is a little bit high. So again, anything that gets parked in behind that, even if it was, I'm going to say, even if it was top 12, is accessible with quiet hit weight. So not kind of an unfortunate result there for Nova Scotia. Alberta's got a big opportunity here now.
Saying this is hot, but it is curling.
10-5.
Yeah, he just got caught in between the shots there, hoping for a rollout to the wings. At the end, seeing it just go sideways, tried to stop to get that roll in behind, but it will be wide open. Speaking of a tough shot on this ice, Sean, a hit and roll is also very difficult.
Absolutely. There's compound the fact that there's that much curl with the fact that these rocks pop as much as they do. Another reason why that weight selection is so important. You don't throw teams have chosen to throw a quieter hit weight. Maybe a little harder to manage, but a lot easier to keep your shooter. And there's a great example of how that works. Nice, manageable weight. Brushers can have an impact, and they can take that roll right where they need to.
So it's mostly buried behind the red guard, but there's still about a third exposed.
So on the sounds of it, you'd think there was about 17,000 people in here, but God love them. There's lots of parents in here that are just super enthusiastic, and it's really great.
I think the misses get rid of the center.
You need to go down there if we're gonna keep talking. Okay.
There's exactly what we're talking about. It's nice and loud in here, and I say it positively like that, but it does make it harder for the players to communicate. just a factor of quote-unquote big league curling, to be honest. It's something they've got to get used to. It's part of the experience. I don't think any player out here would complain either.
No, it's fantastic to have the crowd behind you.
This one's diving to the guard.
Roll right to the center.
Someone might want to catch that.
And no rocks were harmed in this process. But it's unfortunate where that rolled to for Team Alberta, having the hammer rolled right to the center. Gives Team Nova Scotia 2 guards to draw behind now. Though they do have to be careful with this placement because, as you can see, the rock is wide open, and that could be used by Team Alberta for an in-off or a double at some point.
Yeah, it's a little bit high, and something, even top button here might invite the double.
Clean. Becky. Yep. Whoa. Becky. Whoa, are you dying? It looks like it's dying.
It's trying, but it's still back 8.
Okay. Are we sitting?
So we've got good line. You just need this rock to hit the brakes.
Okay, Lauren.
And it will right in the back 8.
So no real double there, but there is the flop, hit and flop and roll in front of that behind cover.
And for shot rock too, potentially.
Okay, you got it.
A bit of a you take it, no you take it, no you take it kind of end here.
Yeah, all it takes is just a key shot, and this could be it for Team Alberta for Kaylee's second rock. He got the roll, and it will sit for shot. Looks like it might be right in the hole though.
So this is something I talked about a little earlier, Danielle, that there's a hole there for sure. You can get a rock down there for sure. It's just a matter of what weight you have to throw to get through that particular hole. They may need to throw a little more than they would prefer to, making it a little harder to keep the shooter.
And more precision needed.
Do you like this turn or do you like the other turn? It looks It just looked like it was hiding a piece of it, but it should. I like the other turn! The other turn! The out turn! Out turn! Yeah! Like there? Yep. Okay. Peel. It curls hard here, so I think, yeah. I think we need peel.
All right, so switch up here. Going to be playing the out turn. Going to need quite a lot of weight. Going to have to come very close to the guard in order to make this shot.
Yeah, Taylor feeling she needs peel. So I guess that just reinforces the point we were making. That seemingly big hole requires, not as big as it looks, that hole. Was not an easy shot. Either turn was not easy for that. It was deceiving again because again at our club you might look at that and go, oh, there's lots of room. But there's so much curl on the ice that Taylor had to throw it up a little bit. She gets a little bit out maybe and it runs on her.
So Team Alberta,
Just fighting top 4 is really good.
Okay, you got it.
you heard it right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Fighting top 4 is key. Again, don't want to set up a double at all here.
Yeah. I don't hate, and then if you're light, yeah, because then you can kind of give her a little
Kaylee, do you like
Christmas
the other side of Christmas tree?
Kate? Am I right? Yeah, I don't mind that. Well, the only thing is then you leave her the draw behind the stagger. But, I mean, if you, either way, you're leaving her something.
I didn't realize how close it was to the guard. I thought it was like, yeah, no worries, fully open, but yeah, I like this. So do you like top 8 then? Yeah, top 8's really good.
Okay, you got it.
A couple feet less?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. I could probably throw similar to my one top 12, right?
So good conversation you had there, Sean. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a complicated situation. It looks fairly simple. She draws in here. It's going to be hard to get second shot, I think, and cover any of that red rock. If she's second shot, she probably doesn't cover shot rock. But really, she only has to cover the inside of that red shot rock because exposing the outside of it, there's no way for Nova Scotia to take it out without jamming on their own in the back. So that is a good call, and they're right. There's no way to take away everything here.
Just here. Oh, just here. Can't. Easy.
So a little deep, and the issue with it being deep is the double's now available for Nova Scotia.
We saw Taylor run right up there and tap the 2 rocks for the double, and this was the trouble here too. Taylor just threw this spot pretty much, so they know how it's going to run.
Would you rather throw like 9-5 at it and roll in? I think we just gotta throw 9-5 and roll in. Okay.
So abandoning the whole idea of the double, I think.
9-5.
I really like their first call. It was there, and she just threw that kind of weight. And great angle here to see it.
Yeah. I mean, we have like that much air. So do you think we throw 9-5 or do you think we throw peel and try to stick it out? We could throw soft peel. Yeah, I don't know soft peel. Okay, I think middle of the raw. Okay, you got it. I think we can throw peel and like punch it over.
Lots to unpack there for me.
We got like quite a bit of air room, so.
It was good that Taylor came back down to the other end to talk it out.
What bothers me, it's a little strong to say bothers me, but what concerns me a little bit was the conversation in the house was soft peel, and then she turned around and told her front end that she's throwing peel. So the expectations are different from one end of the sheet to the other on the weight call. So be interested to see what she throws and what the front end expects.
The last rock for Team Nova Scotia.
Whoa! Kate! Hard, you gotta go.
Uh-oh.
So that will remove the rock,
That was not
but it will be Team Alberta that will have a draw for 2, and we'll take another look there, trying to sweep for curl at the end.
I feel better with the head, I think. Just 11. Yeah.
Okay, you got it.
We've got other room to roll, so.
Yeah.
More ice, Kale.
I mean, the roll.
So they are playing, Team Alberta will be playing the hit for the deuce.
Sorry. That's okay.
Okay, you got it, Claire.
11.
Yeah.
Last rock of the 4th end.
10-5.
Skip Claire Booth playing the hit for the deuce.
10.
Perfect.
And that'll be a score of 2, and Alberta takes a 3-2 lead heading into end number 5, and we'll be back with you in just a few moments. Welcome back to our feature game here at the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Women's final round robin game. Team Nova Scotia, Team Alberta. And we just saw Team Alberta take a deuce in end number 4 and a 3-2 lead. Well, this is a crucial game for Team Alberta. They're sitting at 5-2 in the round robin, just on the cusp of a playoff spot. The top 3 teams from each pool that advance to the playoff round. Team Nova Scotia has already locked up the top spot in the pool with a 7-0 record, and they'll be heading directly to the semifinals. So the way the playoffs work is that top of each pool goes to the semifinals, second and third in each pool cross over to the other pool and play off to get to those semifinals. starting off the fifth end. Team Alberta throwing that center guard, presumably trying to force Team Nova Scotia to take a single here in end number 5.
Top 4.
Nova Scotia lead Kate Fitzgerald.
Well done. I'm good. No,
We have a very experienced Nova Scotian team. Kate played lead for Nova Scotia at the 2021 World Junior Qualifier. Also won bronze as lead in 2020 New Holland Canadian Juniors.
Not sure why that one didn't curl, but
Also very accomplished in under 18.
No, this is really good. Just 11.
Okay.
there's 11 here.
Yeah.
It's hotter.
Yeah, just nice 11.
And lead for Team Alberta, Kate Hector.
Go. 11. Clean. Yep. 11.
Just being asked to play a hit.
There it is.
This yellow rock is mostly exposed.
Whoa. Whoa. Kaylee. Hard, Kaylee. Hard, Kaylee.
And what a beautiful shot. Even getting a bit of a flop behind. Beautiful shot by Kate. Nova Scotia asking for hack weight for Kate second stone. Seeing how much it really curls on this side, so expect this to swoop right over.
Yeah. 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 Hard, Lauren. Clean, clean, clean. Yep.
A great sweep to get that by the guard. Well controlled, and what was also really great too for them is that
Just 11.
there was no panic going on that sweep. So very calm, very in control. We'll roll open, so Alberta playing the hit. The birthday girl, Raylan Helston. Today is her 18th birthday.
Where else would you want to celebrate?
I know there's nowhere else I'd rather be. And the hit and the roll. You can see just how active those rocks are. They got a good chunk of it, and it still rolled clear across the house.
That's all good.
Yeah, I'm just demanding precision there, the rocks and the ice surface and the conditions. So great training environment for these teams.
We see that a lot of the teams are in university, and Sean, you coach the Humber Hawks college team, so you're seeing the players in university and college get an additional amount of experience too. So what have you seen in your coaching role and seen it's progressed over the years and how that's affected the players?
So in terms of the college
In their
university.
development and what that's meant to them.
Yeah, at this point, college university programs are hit and miss, I'll say, across the province and across the country. Curling Canada stepped in a couple years ago to take over the college national championships. They had taken them over back in 2008, and that was a great development for university curling because it brought, not to disparage what it was before, but it brought a certain amount of legitimacy to it, and it brought a certain amount of rigor to it. And you've seen university curling quality just shoot up. So in the last couple of years, Curling Canada stepped in and took over the college nationals as well, and so we're hoping for the same sort of bump. But in terms of development, the university and college programs tend to be a supplement to what players are doing. Very few schools, and I won't say none, because certainly University of Alberta has a program where that's probably their primary team. For the most part, for 99 out of 100 of the rest of the schools, the university curling and college curling tends to be a supplement to their junior, which is great. It just means more play time. And like I say, now that Curling Canada stepped in, our nationals are held at a facility like this. The last one was held before the pandemic, was held in Portage, the Prairie, and it's held at the same time as so college university nationals are at the same time as mixed doubles, same time as senior nationals. So in a big, wonderful arena, and so again, just the opportunities there, another supplemental opportunity.
And you're seeing an uncharacteristic miss here from Team Alberta.
It's another case there where I think wide on the sheet, I know at my club, it's going to be straighter there than it is in the center. Not here. Here it's pretty consistent, one edge to the other edge in terms of how much it curls. Now, at this point in the week, the ladies have had lots of chance to throw here, but every once in a while they're still going to get fooled.
Great opportunity here for Nova Scotia. Lauren on her first rock to sink one in behind the guard and sit two. Again, Nova Scotia with the hammer.
You got it. Hard. You got it, girls. Hard. Hard. You got it. Sweat. Hard, Allison. Hard. Hard, Allison. Hard. Tuck a piece. Tuck a piece. Tuck a piece. Hard.
Looks like that's a case of when you're sweeping, they picked that up right out of the hand basically and really held it past the break point, so it didn't have that opportunity to swoop in.
Like if you throw 11, you can go here.
Yeah, they probably could have left that one and started sweeping a little later. Depth-wise, it was okay. It didn't necessarily need to be top four. It would have been better.
You got it.
It would have been fine, sort of top back 8, if you know what I mean. Almost top 4, but buried. Might have been a little better.
A delicate hit and roll being asked of Kaylee.
Once again, playing the numbers game, you heard 11 up. So that's 11 seconds hog to hog. But the up part is probably just hedging her bets because she thinks it might be a little heavier than 11. So
They got a flip right behind the guard. It's about half buried.
Alberta has to be a little bit careful here. There is a possible jam there. They're taking a fair amount of ice, which makes me think they're not throwing a ton of weight though, so they can manage it around that guard. Again, I've been a bit of a broken record this week, but the placement and depth of that guard is really tough. Absolutely can get around it with enough weight to knock that out and almost get to the nose.
Very impressed by the line calling here in the sweeping. It's very, I'll call it calm, like very controlled. There's no panic by the sweepers or the line caller. So
I'd like to think that's good coaching because what they're doing there, Danielle, and you know, as a competitive player, they're following a process. They have a process for doing this. And so they're relying on that process. And again, I'd like to think that's good coaching because they've been taught that, you know, follow the process and you can get good results. So very impressive. Whole team. Coach right down to the rest of the team.
So Claire Booth playing the hit on this yellow rock in the top of the house, looking for the flop in behind the center line guard. And that will be about half buried behind.
Closer to board. I think so. What are you thinking? 90? I think so.
This is basically the same shot they just played, Sean.
Yeah. Yeah. A little higher, I think.
Same kind of jam possibility here, though. So they will have to be careful about that.
Shot rock, so they can't really ignore it.
And they will avoid the jam at the back and stick around. So mission accomplished.
That's a pretty good shot. Tough for Alberta now to prevent a 2.
That's okay.
Because those rocks are so deep.
Okay, that's fine.
It's going to be awfully hard for Alberta to do better than give up the deuce, I think. Even a long roll here again on the guards, but even a long roll here is going to put them behind T-line and far enough back behind that guard that a hack board waiter should be able to take it out and sit. Almost impossible here to really hide the shooter.
And that was the beauty of that rock that Nova Scotia just threw.
Yeah. Perfect roll, just way wide, no double.
Here is the last rock for Team Alberta here in the 5th end. Team Nova Scotia with the hammer. They've got the hit, and how far will it roll? It will roll to the center and so close to getting behind the guard. Got maybe a hair of it buried. You can see trying to help it curl right at the end. Big scrub to bring it all the way over. In the end, there's still the guard in the way, so it's a visual distraction, if anything.
The upside for Nova Scotia is she just threw one down at least the side of the sheet. Made one that was probably more tucked than this one, and stuck that one. So she probably has a lot of confidence going into this one.
This is the last rock. The 5th end, Team Nova Scotia playing the hit for the deuce.
Little more. Clean. Yep. Clean. 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 Just clean. Clean. Just clean. Right up.
Just clean out of the hand, and that'll be good for 2. Team Nova Scotia taking a 4-3 lead heading into the break, and we will be back with you in just a few moments.
When the cab is your office, you'll never get tired of going to work. Spring, summer, fall. Season after season, New Holland offers the solutions and connected technology that you need. From seeding and spraying to the world's leading twin-rotor combine, New Holland has you covered, from emergence to harvest. Visit your local New Holland dealer to learn more about how New Holland helps you get it done.
Welcome back to the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Women's Curling Championship. This is the 5th end break of our feature matchup. Team Nova Scotia, Team Alberta. It's been back and forth this game, but it is Team Nova Scotia with a 4-3 lead over Team Alberta. Sean, your thoughts on the first half of this game so far?
Well, the ladies have been pretty patient, and I get the sense that they're still feeling each other out a little bit. Lots of experience on both teams, and it's a pretty important game for both of them. So I think they're a little bit skittish about taking any chances. They haven't had to so far, and as the game goes on, I think we're going to see one team or the other, or maybe both, maybe open it up a little bit and try and take a few chances to crack it open. So far, the shot making has been great, and the brushers have been amazing at placing stones. So I expect to see lots more of that.
And it has been quite the battle. Again, Team Nova Scotia 7-0. They've locked up a spot in the playoffs. And as a matter of fact, in the semi-final of the playoffs, Team Alberta is still fighting for their chance at 5-2. So you can see it's been quite the battle we've had out there. It's also, as you can see with the sign, Raylan's birthday. So second for Team Alberta. She's celebrating her 18th birthday, and we can bet we know what she's hoping for. And we are going to head for our second break, but we'll be back with the second half of this game very shortly, so stay tuned.
Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport. Words we embody. Powerful words. Words that speak to everything we represent. Respect, togetherness, strength. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Please give generously.
Welcome back to the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Women's Curling Championship. My name is Danielle Inglis, and I'm joined in the booth by Sean Turriff, who is Curling Canada's mentor coach for the coaches here in Stratford. It's a beautiful day. A little bit windy, but we've got some sunshine. And we have our feature game on the ice again. It's Team Nova Scotia taking on Team Alberta. Nova Scotia with a 4-3 lead after 5 ends of play. Team Alberta with the hammer. And see the first rock go through, which isn't something too uncommon. What the players sometimes need to remember is that it can have a little bit of a speed up effect after the fifth end break, and need to be conscious of that.
Coached the team and recently, and one of my jobs was to remind the lead that it was the sixth end. Literally had the task of saying, lead, it's the sixth end, and he knew exactly what that meant. That meant they just mopped it, it had sat for a bit, going to be a little quick on that first one, a little quicker than the end of the fifth end. He just needed that little bit of, oh, right.
And a well-placed guard by Team Alberta's Kate Hector. Team Nova Scotia. Their second attempt. Kate Fitzgerald throwing lead stones. They're playing tight center.
Line's great. Whoa, whoa.
So a couple of guards in play here. We might get a messy fun end here. Oh, that one just slips in though. And the implications of that, folks at home, are that the free guard zone then now does not apply to that yellow rock. So should Alberta choose to, they could hit that. They are not choosing to. They are choosing to use that corner guard that they threw up. So Alberta looking to generate a little offense this end by the looks of things.
And they're going to use that corner guard.
I think I might got a goal.
Play a come around.
Really, really, really good. Good weight there on that one.
Yeah, well done on the sweepers to wait for it and get that finish. You can see Team Nova Scotia, even though their yellow rock is half in the top 12, they are using it as a guard and playing a come around.
Ice conditions allow for a draw there, and what I mean by that is they can get it in behind there with the amount of curl we've got.
Nova Scotia second, Allison. So you've got great weight, great line.
You gotta go. You gotta be a little deeper hard.
See, they just lost it in the last 20 feet or so. It really came down as it was curling, but great line.
Yeah, I've seen that earlier, I've seen that a little bit this week as the weight comes down in the 4-foot path. Some rocks will die. Now, I'm not convinced that it's an ice issue. I think it's more of a rotation issue. Inconsistent rotation, maybe a little less positive than they need to be, because it doesn't happen consistently. It happens rock to rock.
Rock curled up on them at the end. You could hear the call off. They're going to try the double the other way, but ended up sticking it.
Still a good result. I mean, Alberta still has the some control in the front there. A really short raise if they need to there on the red to the yellow.
And you're seeing Team Nova Scotia now being forced into playing the peel on the corner guard.
Just peel it off. Just peel it off. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is that big? I missed the time.
And that will go right out.
Must have been. Good girl.
I really like that.
I like it.
Just 10 again.
What was my weight, Kaylee?
So just like you mentioned, Sean, now
Yeah, really similar.
that short run is coming into play.
Yeah, a little hard for Alberta here not to cluster their rocks, but that's okay. That yellow one needs to be addressed. They can't. They don't feel safe leaving it there.
And what a shot. Beautiful. Not only did they get the run, but they kept it as a guard.
Yeah, good weight management there. Again, they threw appropriate weight. They threw the weight that was needed to make the shot. It may sound like an obvious thing to say, but it's so difficult to choose the quieter weight sometimes when you're just trying to get rocks out, especially when you're trying to move two pieces of granite.
You got it. Right up.
Need to hit this one thin to make the double. And they do.
Yeah, great result for Nova Scotia. Nothing they could do about it, but the only issue is now that Alberta has a chance to put a rock in behind that guard.
Yeah, you can see they need to hit that a bit thinner to stick it.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, kudos on getting the double. That wasn't the easiest angle.
No.
You got her, Kaylee. I'll give it to you guys. Yeah.
Especially on ice that curls here. You're almost looking at the rock not being on the rock that you're trying to hit for most of the sheet.
There's
Look
soft.
back, tight.
There's soft.
Nice tight. Hard line.
Soft.
Hard line.
A little off
Back four.
though. Back 8 right now.
Lots of games going on today. 8 games, 8 sheets in this last draw. Just as a quick recap on sheet A, Saskatchewan is leading British Columbia 4-2 in the 6th end.
Okay.
Next door on the other side of us here is Quebec against Manitoba. I believe that's Manitoba 2.
Yeah, it
And
was just a big
that's
kick.
currently 6-1 for Quebec in the 6th. And on sheet D, it's on. Ontario versus Ontario, 1 versus 2. And right now, Ontario is leading that game.
You like that?
It's Ontario 1, I believe, is leading that game 4-3. For all the scores, you want to go to curling.ca/scores. We can't see what's going on the other side of the rink, so I can't tell you what's going on over there. I could look it up for you, but it would be far easier for you to look it up yourself.
No.
Curling.ca/scoreboard is where you want to be.
Scoreboard, I got that wrong.
Very, very close.
Oh, darn. Tried. Sorry, folks. It is right there on the front page, though, so it's not, hard to find.
Okay. Just, well.
So we like it. Great resource. You can also see some of the percentages as well of how the players are doing. All sorts of
Yeah, you
information
got it.
there.
Just a smidge less though. Okay.
Here we have Team Alberta sitting shot rock and having the opportunity to play a second one into the rings. And it looks like they're going to try to draw around that corner again.
Yeah, they got a little fortunate there. They got an uncharacteristic miss out of Nova Scotia.
Having to scrub this to get by the guard, but they really want this to stick in the top house. They really want to stick it in the rings at this point.
Okay.
And it does stop. The reason why they really need that in the top rings is now it opens the door for Team Nova Scotia to play a draw round, and they don't necessarily want to come to the back one, but just a draw above the tee line, top 4-ish area over in the side 8.
I had a 14.96 on that. It was barely in. So. You like this ice? Yep. Make it good. Just put it like top 4. Or T line might be better so they don't have to run. Make sure you bury it though. So 4:15.
Nova Scotia skip Taylor Stevens with her first rock of the 6th end.
I think you're all there. I think you're all there. I did. Bit of room, bit of room. Whoa. Skate rock, always skate. No. Always skate. If you're close, go, Keith. Got a curl if you can. Go, yes. Hard curl. Hard curl, you gotta go. You got it, keep going. You gotta go to bury it.
Need to bury this. Big scrub to bury it.
That's a really good result. It may, it's pretty close to being buried, to be honest. But even a corner hanging out there wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world because that Alberta rock had slipped deep. It's a little bit of backing.
Do you like 12? They go to the center line, even a little bit more. Yeah, that's good.
As you can see, there's
Quarter.
a quarter, a third of the rock exposed.
Do you like 12? It finishes hard.
Yeah.
I think we got it. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Hey.
Just try to kind of roll as far as we can open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, you got it, Claire. Okay. Nice and positive.
Maybe like a smidge more.
Nice 12 here.
So they're basically trying to hit what they can see at this point, quarter to a third of the rock, and roll, keep their shooter, but roll it all the way over to the other side of the house.
Yeah, we're going to try really hard not to jam that rock. It's going to be tricky.
Just set it back to the center line.
Hard, you got it, Rylan. Hard, right over.
Hard, you got it. Hard.
What a peach of a shot.
A moment of panic there at the beginning when it was a bit of a set out to the center. You can see at the end, big scrub to help it curl, and like you said, Sean, it was a peach.
Yeah, these teams, they still are having a hard time trusting that curl. That rock came a long way, and it comes late. So there tended to be a little bit of a panic. Is a little strong, but I mean, teams are showing a little concern that, oh, it's not going. But they will curl there, so they just need to be patient a little bit. They managed that pretty well, though, and the brushing certainly didn't hurt. They got the perfect angle to avoid the jam, and of course the soft, beautiful weight allowed them to hold the shooter in the rings, and so now they sit a wonderful little 3.
So this is a huge shot for Taylor. She's throwing against 3 red ones, really needs to bury this. So both the same shot she just threw.
Still Kate's rock. Whoa, we're still Kate's rock. Running, no. Go,
Again,
Kate.
right about that Stratford
Straight.
Country Club logo, it just started to cut.
And a beautiful shot right behind guard.
Yeah, that's a tough one to chase now. That one's better placed than the first one. It's a little more, well, it's quite a bit more buried. So the straight tap that they just threw is probably not there. And the way those 2 reds at the top are staggered, there's really no run back. So I think we're seeing Alberta just straight up draw for their one.
Okay, you got it.
They don't have too many other options. If you ever really needed, you could play almost a redirect off of the yellow to try it for, but that is a highly difficult shot. So, I mean, scoring 1 in the even ends is a pretty good result as well. And if you can force in an odd end and then take your deuce in end 8, there you go. Just that easy from up here.
Just numbers.
Last rock of the 6th end. Team Alberta needs a piece of the 4-foot for the single.
Hog time looks pretty good. They should be top 4.
And they will get it. So we are all tied up after 6 ends for all, and we will be back with you in just a few moments.
Into play. Look at that. Canada, say hello to your new champions.
Proudly pulling for this generation of Canadians and the next for over 40 years at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Welcome back to the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Women's Curling Championship. My name is Danielle Inglis, and I'm joined in the booth by Sean Turruff. It's a beautiful day in Stratford, the Stratford Rotary Complex. We're in the 7th end of our feature matchup. Team Alberta, Team Nova Scotia tied up 4-all. Team Nova Scotia with the hammer here in end 7.
Let it stop. Let it die.
Gotta dig. Yeah, take
Let it die.
Just tight.
Gotta die. Same as my draw the one.
Take it.
Okay.
All right.
just slips into the rings. I think they were calling it just tight. Regardless, Nova Scotia's going to throw up the corner, looking to hopefully generate a deuce here in the 7th.
Team Nova Scotia lead Kate Fitzgerald. He asked for a corner guard.
Keep it clean. There's best. We're definitely in. Oh, no, never. Okay.
Okay.
And that will slip into the rings. Available to hit for Team Alberta.
Yeah. So just a bit tight on the left?
Yeah. You got him.
Alberta lead Kate Ector.
Whoa. Pen, reach good. Whoa. Keely. Stand up. Hard, Keely. Stand up. Really gotta go, Keely. Really gotta go. Okay. Hey, that's fine. Good.
And they will sit too.
I like the little flop outside there. I mean, conventional thinking is you want to play to the center when you don't have last rock, and for sure you do. However, you flop to the center there, and you just flop too close to the center there, and Nova Scotia's going to run the double and maybe clean the end up. So for Alberta, that keeps the pressure on Nova Scotia a little bit.
You gotta go. Hard. You gotta go. Hard. Hard roll. Hard roll. Hard roll. Hard. Go hard.
They get the hit and will flop onto the rings. Looks like our betting woman, it might be red sitting shot.
I don't really mind, no. Okay, if you roll in this way, it's good.
If you were a betting woman. If you were.
You got it.
Already bet a coffee this morning, Sean.
I know.
I'm excited for after the game. Team Alberta going to make the hit on this. They also like to see a bit of a flop towards the center onto the rings.
Looks like they'll get it. They're not going to get it on the rings, but they've got the center guard now. Should they choose to use it? So many games out here with playoff implications. It's the last draw of the pool play, and almost nothing has been decided yet. So everybody's probably on a little bit of pins and needles.
Yeah, it is messy out here. So we have our Pool B. Go over that first. We've got our Team Nova Scotia here with 7-0. So they've locked up a semifinal spot. And fighting for those final two playoff spots, we have Team Ontario #1, Team Duchesne, Team Saskatchewan, Team Clyder, Team Alberta 2, Team Booth in our future game, all sitting at 5-2. Still also have Team Ontario #2, Team Steele at 4-3, still in the playoff hunt.
And all those teams in close, tight scoring games right now, so
Really close.
lots of excitement here.
Coming down. Top floor.
And over in Pool A, we have Team Northern Ontario, Team Lukowich at 6-1, Team New Brunswick, Team Evans at 5-2, also at 5-2, Team Alberta 1, Grey Withers. Also still in the playoff hunt, we have Team Manitoba 1, Team Tober, and Team Newfoundland Labrador, Team Mitchell at 4-3.
Really nice draw there. Issue being, of course, that Nova Scotia's going to try and run this back. Looks like they're just going to rip the guard, though. Maybe get a little lucky there. Oh.
So close.
So close.
Just tight. Yeah. Okay. I'm really gonna go to you.
This is
17 here.
going to be a case of Team Alberta needing to throw a perfect guard, essentially.
Come here. I'll throw it nice and positive.
Yeah, you got it.
Good conversation at the home end between the thrower and the sweepers about how to throw it. So throwing it positively, throwing it to the sweepers, so using everything they have to make it perfect.
That's okay.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good conversations this week. It's really encouraging
Let it come off.
to have that level of communication and
Top it.
precision from this age group in
We're
particular.
gonna dig.
Gotta dig.
Digging, top
Gotta
it.
dig. Just gotta dig.
Top it.
Just gotta dig.
Just fighting top it. Little, yeah.
Sit. Okay, Kaylee, that's okay.
Best thing the front end can do, not front end, but the best thing the sweepers can do for the thrower is make sure she knows all the information that they have on the path she's about to throw on. Do we know what the time is, et cetera, et cetera.
Gotta go, Kate.
Big sweep off the top to get this double.
Gotta go, gotta go,
I
gotta
think she got that one started a little bit.
Hey, you're trying to figure out whether
It's all good.
it was broom placement or throw. If you see it going right out of the hand, that's pretty solid indication that
Just in that 4-4
they got it
range
going.
Again. Gotta get to like that 4-3, 4-4.
Okay.
Hey, you got it.
Okay. You got it, Kaylee. I like that release though.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. I'll just give it more. Or less. Sorry.
Yeah.
Lots of positivity, lots of positive conversation.
There is a lot of positive reinforcement, and that's another thing I think, I'm going to put my coach's mentor hat on, that the coaches have, I believe that the coaches have done well with the teams. They've instilled that,
No, mine's really good.
urgency isn't the right word, but they've instilled the importance of positivity and reinforcement on what you're doing well. It's not to say that they're not critical. I see the ladies are out there analyzing what they're doing and what maybe didn't go right. It's not a matter of being positive dishonestly, but it's a matter of reinforcing the things they're doing right. Worked with a sports psychologist through a team this year, and one of his big lessons was to take small victories and to make sure you celebrate small victories within the game. And so that's what this positivity is about. It just builds your confidence as the game goes on. Do something right, make sure you celebrate it, make sure you take credit for it, and then when something doesn't go right, it doesn't have quite the impact that it might have. So I love to hear it. I love to hear it from the teams.
Yep. Hard. Whoa. We're just nosing.
Yeah, what a shot. Again, continually impressed by the line calling and the brushing by Team Nova Scotia, especially.
Yeah. Okay. Even if I roll out of this.
Like 13 max, hey?
Great. 12-5?
Yeah.
Yeah, 12-5 is good. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So playing just a quiet weight hit.
Even a 13 would kill it, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think 12-5.
Okay.
Just
Kate,
to make sure.
you got it.
I like it. You got it.
Got half a rock, and you could see from Team Nova Scotia's last rock that it was running fairly straight, and they had to wait for that curl, but once it got close to that center line, it was just walking sideways.
And they essentially hit that on the nose. That those are almost lined up.
Yep.
It goes to support that point that the guard depth is really hard.
Hard relay. You're on it?
Right out.
Go right.
Makes contact and a big scrub to get out the back, and it will stick in the back 12 foot.
Just, I think, edge. Okay.
Again, Nova Scotia with the hammer. Crucial shot for Taylor Stevens. You can really put pressure, and they could set themselves up well for a deuce or maybe even a 3 in this case.
Yeah, she really doesn't want to be behind that tee line right now. That would be a bit of a giveaway, give back to the Alberta team if she slips behind the tee line. So looking to see her be in front of the button, tucked in behind there. She can afford probably here, Danielle, to only be half tucked. There is the jam possibility at the back there if if she's only half tucked. So.
And half tucked again. We just saw what happened. Didn't quite get it out of the rings. Your case needs to be in the top half of the house.
Leave it none. It felt close. Top four is too deep. Whoa. Bit of room. Tons of room. Room. It's Kate. Kate drop. Kate drop.
And this is running.
Kate. Top four. You gotta tuck a piece. Hard, Kate. Yeah, take it. Hard, Kate. You gotta go. Hard. Hard. You got it. Hard. A little bit further.
They talked about tucking a piece. They have left it behind the tee now.
Yeah, I like that 12-5 again. Okay.
So I'm a little bit loath to get into the directional brushing conversation,
Oh, yeah.
but I will.
Yeah,
So you'll notice that sometimes teams are brushing to make them curl. Sometimes they're brushing to keep them straight.
Okay. You got it, Clay.
This is Sean's opinion, so take it for the grain of salt, or take it with a grain of salt. I believe that sometimes if you're not applying, if you haven't worked on it with your team to understand exactly whether or not you can make a rock curl, then when you're trying to make a rock curl, all you're really doing is taking it deep. So I'm not saying that Nova Scotia did that there, and I'm not saying they do. But that rock is deeper than they want it. And there is lots of curl on this ice. I'm not convinced that if they don't sweep that at all, it doesn't tuck in behind by itself. Now, ideally, these are pretty high-performing teams, and I would expect that they would have maybe done their own brushing study at home, so they have a good sense of how much they can make it curl or not. I believe probably both these teams have probably done that kind of thing for themselves, so they understand what kind of an impact they can have. My statement is more of a general thing. I think as a team or a coach, if you're out there and your team is trying to make rocks curl through sweeping, you really should test that. You should see what it is your team can do before you go and do it in a game.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And we are at the last rock here in N7. Team Nova Scotia will have an open hit for the deuce.
Yeah, that last one just hung a little bit too, and unfortunately didn't get in on top of the shot rock, and so it's wide open.
So make contact, and it will just stick around for a deuce. And Team Nova Scotia now taking a 6-4 lead heading into end number 8, and we'll be back in just a few moments.
When the cab is your office, you'll never get tired of going to work. Spring, summer, fall. Season after season, New Holland offers the solutions and connected technology that you need. From seeding and spraying to the world's leading twin-rotor combine, New Holland has you covered from emergence to harvest. Visit your local New Holland dealer to learn more about how New Holland helps you get it done.
Welcome back to the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Women's Curling Championship. My name is Danielle Inglis, and I'm joined in the booth by Sean Tura. We've got our feature matchup, Team Nova Scotia taking on Team Alberta. Team Nova Scotia, with their deuce in N7, now has a 6-4 lead over Team Alberta. In this very crucial game, Team Nova Scotia 7-0 has a spot in the playoffs in the semifinals. Team Alberta fighting for their spot in the playoffs at 5-2.
Lots of exciting games going on. I would encourage you to go to the Curling Canada website to find out what's going on. I will say that on sheet A, just as a quick update, BC and Saskatchewan. BC is leading Saskatchewan 5-4. Saskatchewan has hammer in that one. On our right, Manitoba 2 and Quebec Quebec's leading that one 6-2 with hammer. And on the very confusing Ontario game, Ontario is tied with Ontario 5-5. And Ontario has hammer, Danielle. No, let me figure this out for you. Ontario 1 versus Ontario 2. Just want to see who has hammer. Not even tie game with Ontario.
You okay with this turn?
Pretty neat that those teams get to face off.
Ontario 2 has hammer. The steel team.
The Battle of Ontario.
And this is an important one, I think, for Ontario 1. Ontario 2 needs a lot of help to get into the playoffs, but Ontario 1, I think, are masters of their own fate here. If they can win this game, then I think they're assured of a playoff spot.
Straight. Hard Allison. Line only. Hard Allison.
And back in our feature game, we have Nova Scotia sitting 1 in the top 4. Berta through the corner. Bit of a high corner. See, this rock is going to sit and guard a good chunk of the rock in the house. About half exposed.
So we're getting later in the game, and both teams are going to be managing the scoreboard here a little bit. So they're going to be having a closer eye on whether than on the force and converting the hammer. Not that that wasn't always an issue, but Alberta here really looking to convert a 2 with hammer.
You got her. Okay, let's put this in a good spot.
Yeah, you got her.
Might be all there. I think we're all there.
All there. Okay, little tight line. Yeah.
Oh, it's coming off.
Where are you? Yeah, hard line.
2 lines.
Yep.
Line only.
Okay, whoa, let it stop.
So this rock, it got by the guard, but it's over curling, so they're hoping it'll stop so it's not too exposed on the other side. It looks like it might be about half open on the wide side.
Bit tricky spot though. I don't know that we've seen a lot of rocks that wide out.
Like that?
Yeah.
So Nova Scotia saying, you know what, maybe too tricky. Let's just go back to the center. The issue there being if Nova Scotia takes a run at that second shot rock, and they end up clipping the guard, then Alberta has the chance to get a second rock in for shot maybe, and then they can start looking at generating their deuce.
Clean. Kate's rock. Kate's rock. Go, Kate. Yeah.
The line is looking pretty nice on this rock.
Hard, Kate. You gotta start Kate hard. Hard, you gotta keep going. Go.
This is the area we saw rocks die in 2 ends ago, and same kind of happened there. If that had continued on, we've had perfect line, but they got a hair of it touched behind.
Maybe 10. 11's good.
Not bad. They did get a corner tucked. I don't think there's a run there.
It's 11.
If they hit absolutely everything they can see, there might be a double there, but I don't think she's even looking really at that. She's really just looking at the hit and roll over.
Yeah, they're not playing the weight for it. They're calling about 11.
It looks like more than 11 to me.
10-5.
There you go. It's 10-5.
Whoa. Kate.
Half a second.
Hard Kate. Okay.
And they will spell out the side.
I think it was pretty important there that Alberta hold that shooter.
Yeah, because you can see now Team Nova Scotia she couldn't run up fast enough to call the peel on that rock.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yep. Just peel it off. Yep. Right up. That's good.
And there we go.
He's freezing onto theirs. Yeah.
Alright. 10-2.
Same as your last draw here, Raylan. You know your weight. You got it.
Thanks, Reed. You got it.
So So this is a freeze being asked of birthday girl Ray Lynn.
Line's really tight.
Close.
All that tight. Yeah. Go line if you can.
Two line there.
Go. Hold on.
Line only.
Close for line.
Just, we're really close, Lee. Back four.
Weight looks really good if the sweepers can hold it around the guard. Ooh. Just a bump.
Oh, and where it backed up to wasn't too bad for them. Still a short raise available. Lauren Ferguson being asked to play a hit. Like to keep this around nose.
Quiet. Clean. Oh. Big roll. Oh.
And they'll get a flop into the forefoot. They wanted to keep that further apart though. So you can see there is a hidden flop, almost a frozen,
Yeah, nice and easy.
available right now. Hit for Kaylee.
Another one that kind of started early, but the sweepers are doing a great job.
And that will roll under. So close. We've seen that side just move so often, even though the sweepers picked it up pretty early. It just goes. And we haven't really been able to see the sweepers hold the rock in that spot yet.
Yeah, I think that she's getting caught with you throwing them differently than her.
No. Allison early. Whoa. I'd like that high too. Whoa, no.
They're hoping for this to stop as a guard.
Sit down.
And it will stop just in time. A little tighter than they would have liked that.
There's not really a good double peel though. What? You just gotta hit it thick and tie and roll. Stroke peel.
Okay, you got it, Kaylee.
Pour it nice and clean.
So they are going to play the double peel. It's not necessarily easy, but if you hit it right, you can spill both rocks.
Try the other way. Yeah. Whoa. Yes.
Okay.
Almost looked like that picked it just it jumped over.
Yeah, that wasn't a consistent
Kaylee, you
Half
just have to
curl
let her
pass.
touch it here.
And you can see it just hanging on the center line, and then it went sideways, and that was a good amount of weight on it as well. In the end, it didn't want to remove that rock, but a little bit of a weird rock there. So Team Nova Scotia, big shot to if they can get this in top 4 area in behind the rock in the top 12. And again, taking lots of ice here. Great to see. This is the spot we know curls it finishes hard, and brushers have to be aware of how much is going to come down with that curl.
Line's good. Room. No, it's not curling. Big drop. Little big. Line's nice.
Again, sweepers need to stay close. Should come down.
Good patience there. That time they did not try to carve it. Back to the brushing discussion we had a little earlier. That time they did not try to carve it. They were patient. They let the ice do its thing. And they got a great result. And it's in front of the button. So, again, I think if they had chosen to try and curl that with the brushing, they would have just taken it deep. So great call there, and great patience by the brushers.
And it was good that it didn't curl anymore and left a piece out. As you can see from this angle, if it had curled up more, there might have been a double available. But at this point, this would have been a very tough double if they tried to play it. And that's why you're seeing Team Alberta playing a freeze here.
Line's good, her tight. Yeah, that's top four. Yeah, T-line.
I don't know whether it's coming from the mics or it's coming from
Yep, easy, yep. Hard line. T-line. Yep.
And there, this is looking good. Great line.
Yep. Gotta keep do it. Hard.
And a beautiful shot.
Discard.
Yeah, good shot.
I think we edge.
Don't know what you do on your next shot. If Nova Scotia puts up a good guard here,
On the other side of center,
the way those three up in front are angled, I think if they put one in, again, thinking in the path, I don't know what Alberta does to get their point. I think there would be then the draw around to get.
Yeah.
Then they need a good. I'm going to make a big rock there. A big chunk of the button. I'm not even sure that's there.
Well, I would suggest that they need to have that guard a little bit higher too, so that more on the New Holland logo or above. Otherwise, Alberta could run that in. It would only be for 1 point though, as you point out, Sean. It's tough to get one at this point.
Yeah.
Whoa, it needs to sit. Whoa.
I'm probably curling a little.
Sit down. Is it top 12? Whoa.
Yep, so two options here. They could run that stone in, or they could play the draw to the pin, which doesn't look pretty.
Yeah, I'm not sure the draw to the pin is there. The run is by far easier. But again, for one. I'm not sure what Alberta might have done on their first. Maybe bump that shot rock back to the back four. But the problem with that is then Nova Scotia can pick that out. I'm not sure what other option they had.
Yeah, I agree. The bump would have given them something to work with at least, or given them an easier shot on their last here. So Alberta with their last rock, Claire Booth needing a run onto the red, spill the yellow to pick up their single. And a beauty. Alberta will pick up a single point in end 8. They will trail Nova Scotia 6-5 heading into end number 9. Let's take another look at that beautiful shot for the single. A great job by Team Alberta. And we'll be back with you in just a few moments.
Not sure.
Welcome back to the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Women's Curling Championship. My name's Danielle Inglis, and I'm joined in the booth by Sean Turriff. We're in the ninth end of our feature matchup. Team Nova Scotia with a 6-5 lead over Team Alberta. Very crucial game for Team Alberta. They're staying at 5-2 and need a win here to have hopes at a playoff spot. Team Nova Scotia has already locked theirs up at 7-0, spot in the semifinal. We have several other sheets out here on the ice, and a reminder that you can follow live scoring at curling.ca/scoreboard. And to start off this end, we have Team Alberta throwing the center, Team Nova Scotia playing the come around.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I would think that with the center guard that Alberta's saying we're going to try and steal here. But it's tight, so they may be saying we want to force. This is where scoreboard management comes into play. Preferences of teams. I imagine these teams will have studied the statistics a little bit to see what position is best for them in terms of having hammer and scoreboard position, whether they want to be tied without or not.
We just had a fun fact come in on Twitter. Alberta skip Claire Booth is Jocelyn Peterman's niece. And so Jocelyn is watching and cheering her on right now.
Oh, great. Skipper's having a pretty good game.
Both teams are playing really well, making some very crucial shots.
Claire got them off to a good start. She pinned her last stone draw, and Alberta started the game with hammer.
Nova Scotia has the opportunity to freeze on this red rock that's just sitting back bun, back four area.
I'm getting the feeling, Danielle, that this is going to be a really pivotal end. There's lots of rocks in play already right up the middle, and considering the scoreboard, you know, a 1 or 2 point swing here will really tell the story of the game, I think.
This will be really important to get the angles. The team who can maintain those angles will be the team who controls this end. They would have liked to get a more curl on that rock. Speaking of angles, it is good for Nova Scotia. However, there is separation. So now we're seeing Team Alberta. They're going to play a freeze tap.
Weight looks really good.
Just key. Back four. Okay, that's good.
Good patience there by the brushers to let it do its thing.
That was great weight. Needed it to curl up about half a rock more.
Can you get the nose? Can you get the nose? I don't have all of it.
So they don't have all of it. They've got pretty much all of it, though. You can play this. They could sit 3 by the end of this shot.
I feel like they could get to the nose here. I think the weight and the depth of that guard would allow them to get across the face.
Never. Lauren.
This is hanging out. They're trying to sweep for the curl.
Hard. Keep going.
They will get it, and they will sit 3. And the crowd goes wild. Can see here.
It's all good.
And sweep at the end, try to get the 3, and they are successful. It's amazing how 15 to 20 curling fans can sound like 1,500 in this building.
Everyone brought, it sounds like every single person brought some form of noisemaker as well. So.
They are decked out with their noisemakers and their sign. Even the cars are decked out in the parking lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep it out there, keep it out there.
Nice shot.
Really nice shot.
Beautiful double. And it is sitting pretty much fully buried behind cover. Oh, watch this again. Big scrub. Great line call to pick this up. Makes the contact, even gets the spin back up, and it is mostly buried behind cover.
Down, back line. Yes, back line. Fine, Pete. Whoa. Clean. Yep.
And they'll get it by.
Hard roll. Go. Keep
Make
going.
contact and will sit two. We're trying to sweep that even further over because now, as you can see, Alberta calling for the double.
Mike, to throw 9 at this.
Alberta probably resigned to the fact that they're not going to steal, and they really don't want to take a huge chance and give up a 2 or a 3 here and put the game out of reach. So initially looked like they wanted to steal. Now they seem to be in force mode. So they can have hammer in 10. This is close. Great shot.
A lot of great shots this end. We were looking like we were going to have a lot of rocks in play, and a few doubles, triples later. Here's a great example of just one of the great shots we've been watching this end, Sean.
Yeah, I'm generally wrong up here when I expect one thing. The players generally prove me wrong. So.
Oh,
Something a little funky happening there.
a little recovery, but you know what? She's pretty close right now.
She's got a big smile on her face though, so that's no harm, no foul. And then she goes and makes the shot. So maybe that's her new.
That was pretty impressive. Good recovery.
Yeah, just make sure you're nice and positive here, Kaylee.
So now our once complicated end, we're down to some straight up target practice now.
Still that red guard out front, which could sneak into play if you just get the right roll and maybe the right, maybe a half miss by one of the teams. Just keep an eye on that guy.
You can see Alberta trying to get that roll in behind so that they can force Nova Scotia into potentially playing a draw, though. Where the guard is above the New Holland logo, you could, even if the rock's buried, you could still get at it with a soft weight hit.
Yeah! Gotta go, Pete! Gotta go! You gotta go, Pete! Hard!
This one diving towards the guard. They're holding it pretty well. Might sneak it by. Oh, good brush. Great brush.
Great. Team Nova Scotia trying to get it as far away from that guard as possible.
That's 2 of us down in one day. Oh, God.
Team Alberta, different spot on the ice. We'll be looking to get that hit in behind the guard as well. This is a spot they have to be cautious about. We've seen it move a few times. The most important thing here is that they keep their shooter in the rings. And there it goes.
That one's hooking. Hooking.
You need to scrub this for a piece. And that's that spot we talked about. It you've got to anticipate that's going to curl, trust it, and sweep it when it's almost not on the rock. And we saw how far it went. It almost wasn't on the rock, and then it wasn't on the rock on the other side.
Just kind of gave it a wave as it passed on by. Out that far, again, we've seen that a couple of times where maybe the ladies are thinking it's going to be a little tighter out there, but we're really not seeing that.
Oh, once you see it, you've got to believe it. And believe it until you're proven otherwise, really.
Right. It's so hard to internalize, that's all. I mean, I think the majority of their experience in throwing rocks is going to say, well, it'll be tighter out there. Unfortunately, that's not the case here.
So the first rock for Team Nova Scotia skip, Taylor Stevens here in end 9.
It felt a little heavy. Felt a little heavy. You gotta go, guys.
Gotta go.
It's really curling. Hard.
Yep, hard.
Puppy. Hard, Kate.
Hard all the way. Gotta go. Hard.
Hard, Kate. You got it. Hard. Keep going. Keep going.
Big scrub here to get it onto the rings. And they will.
Yeah, it is.
Team Alberta is going to give that hidden roll another shot.
That's just another example of, I mean, here we are in the 9th end, and those sweepers are able to drag that rock I mean, that was a great rush, but it's great that they can still have an impact. I'm seeing almost no fudge. There might be something on that out-turn path coming home, coming back towards us, but it's debatable whether that's a matter of the ice or whether that's maybe just a little soft handle. Just amazing how the ice is holding up.
This will be Team Alberta's last rock here in end 9. Picking this one up early. Rocket. Get the hit, and it will not quite roll far enough. It will be wide open over on the edge. Team Nova Scotia, with their last, can pick up a deuce here in end 9.
Just 10-5. Broom's down. Hers really curled here when she was a little light. So.
Good comment there by Taylor, making sure the sweepers do have their brooms down. You saw the difference when the sweepers had their brooms off and it took off versus when they had them down, could manage the curl. Now here we go with our last rock in end 9.
Clean. Yep. Clean. Whoa. Good clean. Clean. Roll that.
And clean it in 4-2. Team Nova Scotia now with an 8-5 lead over Team Alberta. And we will be back with you in just a few moments. Welcome back to the 2022 New Holland Canadian Junior Women's Curling Championships. My name is Danielle Inglis, and I am joined in the booth by Sean Turrup. In our feature matchup, we have Team Nova Scotia with an 8-5 lead over Team Alberta. Team Alberta with the hammer here in the 10th end. They are fighting for a spot in their playoffs at 5-2. So, Sean, what do you expect to see here in this final end?
I expect that Nova Scotia will do their best to probably force, because they don't need to score anything else. Alberta's going to pull out all the stops now to get their deuce. I mean, scoreboard dictates they absolutely must score too. So we'll see guards. I expect Alberta won't throw a ton of hits. They'll be trying to manipulate all rocks in place to maximize their shot at keeping stones in play. So this guard will go up. I expect Nova Scotia will probably throw something else into the center of the house, and then Alberta will make the team choice to either throw a second corner guard or to come in. I'll be curious to see which they choose.
And Team Nova Scotia, as you said, asking for one in the top 4. Pretty crucial on the placement here. Need this to really be in the top 4 is the only place for it, or at least the top of the house. So if you leave it high, that is working for Team Alberta.
Yeah, they absolutely don't want it outside the house anywhere. I think as long as it's in the rings, well, regardless of whether it's in the rings or not, you'll see Alberta draw or play their guard strategy.
Hard. Really good, Kate.
And they freeze in the top of the rings. And the nice thing about where those rocks are too is that they could be aligned and used later.
Yeah, you wouldn't really be able to throw anything in behind there that would be safe in any definition. Ooh.
Little speed wobble. Wind this to stop in a guard position.
Yep, just the strategy here to throw a second corner, which cannot be removed because of the free guard zone rule. So again, Alberta just trying to maximize the amount of cover that they could possibly generate while they're allowed to protect guards.
Team Nova Scotia asking for another draw into the 4-foot. And like we said, those two rocks that are up there in the top 12, top 8 are in pretty good alignment, so they want to avoid trying to jiggle those around. So very precise shot needed here from second Allison.
This is that spot where they've lost a few rocks, but brooms are down now. Respecting the path here a little bit.
They did jiggle it, but basically kept the alignment.
Alberta has to deal with those rocks at some point, but they also need to generate their deuce. So they could draw, but that would leave all that yellow up at the front. So they're choosing a little tap and roll.
I like this. You got it, really.
Need to get some rocks into the scoring area there.
And really, every single shot of theirs this end has to count and has to be perfect. The difficulty is high no matter what, so you might as well try to make it easier on yourself by moving the rocks now.
Yeah, for sure.
10 down. 10. All right, Tilly. 10.
Make it and get the roll, and they will get it partially buried, tucking a little piece behind.
I think you'll see Taylor probably, I would expect Taylor to be ripping guards at this point. Or actually, sorry, probably ripping this shot that just flopped in. Don't think ripping the guard would be the worst thing.
This rock is diving towards the corner, and they get it by the first and the second. Great scrub.
Just more now? I think so.
I like 10. 10 go. That was good?
Yeah, wait, it was really good. She just overcalled mine a bit.
Okay. You got it.
You got her.
And Team Alberta playing the hit and roll again. And they're going to nose.
It's a little unfortunate. That overcurled on them a little bit. And not terribly difficult for Nova Scotia to get rid of that.
And what's important for Nova Scotia is to try not to get too cute with any shots and leave their rocks around. Just peel it straight out.
Yeah, again, Nova Scotia doesn't need to score, right? They just need to keep Alberta from scoring too.
Oh. Get. No. Just clean. No. Curl. Hard curl.
This rock is hanging on the center.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
And they have tapped the red rock, partially buried behind.
Yep, I like it.
So it's game on now. Alberta's gets a glimmer.
You got this.
If they can
Okay.
kind of curl one in there behind those two overlapped
Just
rocks.
nice and positive still.
Yeah,
You got
the
it.
rock's not that one that just got punked over to the side there. It's still raisable. You can see enough of it. So the placement of this one's going to be pretty crucial. Otherwise, I expect Nova Scotia will be trying to raise double there.
Really, when you're down 3, you need a miss like that to help you out.
Yeah, for sure. You need some help.
And the sweepers calling back line here.
You need to take because you
It looks like it's going sideways. Really coming down in weight. In the end, it probably would have been fine, and that's where I have to think about how much weight is going to come off. And we have a timeout called by Team Nova Scotia, so we'll see their coach, Mary Matatal, come out to have a discussion with the team. So let's listen in.
Yeah, but which one do we eliminate? You eliminate the middle one. The middle one?
Yeah, middle one. Then you sit in front. They still have to use two shots
yeah.
to get you, right?
Oh, you want us to sit in front of it? Okay, just that's off good. Make sure we stick. Okay.
Yeah.
So like 10 or even less?
10.
I like 10. Okay.
10
I think
you
so.
can hold your sleeping.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then let's talk about we've got 2 seconds. So we've got one more shot. I don't think that, do you like this?
I don't think it's fair.
I don't think it is. So we're gonna have to drop a second shot, right?
Yeah, well, they're going to have to deal with us at some point, so we should have something to hit.
I agree with
How many rocks do they have left? 3?
Rocks down, 3. So keep your brooms down, girls. Right? Keep nice and clean. Big breaths. Here we go.
Okay. You got it, Lauren.
All right, so great conversation with the coach, Mary. And she not only talked about what to do on this shot, but also what to think about for a few shots ahead as well.
Yeah, that was an interesting timeout. Not sure they had a meeting of minds there, to be honest. The girls were seeing one thing, and I think the coach was seeing something slightly different. But on this shot, for sure, I think they agreed. The issue here was not sure what the issue here was. I think the hit was always there. That was probably always the call. Maybe they were considering the double. The issue with the double is that the jam might be there. So
they've nosed it, staying in the top, but it really acts like a guard right now for Team Alberta.
yeah, I mean now Alberta's got that another flop over to the left. Of course, the yellow one just thrown can be raised. But if Alberta puts this one in a really good spot, then, as the coach said, maybe you throw an out turn draw in behind the one you just threw. If you can't hit anything out that's red.
Alberta third. Kaylee needs this rock to curl to get that flop.
Yeah, she really needs the inside roll. The outside roll or the nose doesn't help them.
And she will get it, and that will be about half buried. We'll see that right at the end, that scrub
That was good. Nice shot.
getting that finish.
Really close there. She wanted a little more of a roll so that the yellow tap isn't really there, but just didn't quite come up enough for her.
So now you're seeing Nova Scotia playing that short run back that we talked about. Just about 3 feet. And they, in order to make it perfectly, they want to make sure to hit it just a hair high so that they're hitting the red rock and spilling back behind their shooter.
Yeah, again, that would be an effective double. I mean, it would essentially, because it would outcount the second shot, you've essentially negated that second shot. You haven't taken it out of the play, but it doesn't count anymore, so.
Gotta go, Kate! Gotta go!
Looks pretty good.
And just like that.
So that's an effectively that acts as a double because the Red Rock now is second shot. Alberta needs to do something about shot rock and sit.
Claire, do you want to use our timeout?
Like skinny this. Like just like off of it?
Team Alberta will call their first timeout.
He's coming down.
Coach Derek Cooney making his way down.
Like, because if you play the run, like, we need three. So yours needs to be in the house. But this guard's kind of in the way for that. Like, you got to play inside out. Yeah. Like, you almost have to, like, just play the, real thin. But I don't even know if that's there.
Like, he's right here.
Can you ever, do you think you can drop past all of that stuff?
It's like we need three though, like that one needs to count for us.
Yeah, I know that, but if you get in there, you've still got that run, like it's a short run double.
Yeah, but how are we gonna get three?
If you draw and you can chisel, either like chisel.
Oh, like chisel that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like you gotta get creative here.
Yeah, exactly. They draw anywhere. Yeah.
I think you have to hit that pretty thick.
Yeah,
to roll.
and roll to there. I think that's the shot.
Unless you can play the double now and ever
Zip that, but if I don't zip it then.
can you tickle the red in though?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, but it's so tough because you have to hit it so thick to make the double. Like, I don't know if you ever tick it enough. But the rocks are lively, so you might.
Whatever you're seeing, Claire.
Okay.
I mean, this guard is high enough.
To play this? I think that's the shot, maybe. It gives us a
So they're talking about playing the split on the red rock.
Just heavy draw?
Yeah.
Like back eight?
Yeah, I think so. Throwing the double? No. We're throwing like like the tip.
So I'm still a little unclear as to what happens to that yellow rock. I see the split. I see them coming down here and splitting this red rock onto the rings and then rolling the shooter onto here. But I'm not entirely sure why, if you do that, Nova Scotia doesn't just draw here.
And that's the issue.
I think if it was me, I might play the I might play the double on the two yellows and try and kick it over and kick my top red one onto the rings, and just to sit two, and then hope that Nova Scotia can't get rid of one of them for the opportunity three. I don't think they need to sit three now. They need to do something about that yellow rock in my mind.
Well, regardless, we're going to have quite the finish.
They're close to making the shot they've called. Really close. So great execution. I don't know.
A timeout called by Team Nova Scotia. Skip coach Mary Matatal will come on out and join the team.
Come off of it. Yeah, she would have to do that to get that out.
We could just draw.
Yeah? I don't.
Well, not really. Well, how much do you have of that, though?
Oh.
Are you sure? It looks really edge.
Yeah, like
Well,
you said. right now she has to come off of this
Yeah,
one.
so even if we just get the top on, like,
What weight do you like? 9.5 or
I think the regular
9?
take the
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it from the half.
Just not overthrow, just a nice firm 9.
Okay.
okay, we got it.
So I'm going to admit something to you, Danielle. As a coach, strategy is not. I'm not the strategy expert. I would yield to a high-level player pretty much most times. I'm in my mind. You can't see it in this shot, but there is a guard up there that's really
Do you
tight.
like that ice for 9, or do you think a hair less?
But really, all she needs is that high side too, right? She really wants to get rid of the one of them. The other option is to draw open side.
Up there, and you heard Taylor say, "I want to see it from the hack." So that guard, it comes into play, like you mentioned, Sean.
I think Nova Scotia identified the fact that the only way to get that yellow one out was to get the inside of their own red and kick over, because the front two in front aren't really lined up. This looks pretty good.
And that'll kick it over.
So I don't know whether these rocks are tight enough to drag that red one onto the yellow one and save shooter.
11? Yeah. Just hit it so thin, roll it in here. It should go. I think it's there.
Yeah.
You can't hit it too thin, or this never gets all the way out. And like we have to stick our shooter.
Yeah, but you have to hit this pretty thin for that to happen. Just 11? Oh, you called. Okay.
So coach came down.
Is it there, Derek?
Second timeout.
Okay, thanks, guys.
I think it's definitely
The
a
clock
shot.
is there's a clock running on our sheet,
Just
and I'm not
11,
really sure
try and
why.
stick here, hit that thin, it should go back.
Stop now.
I hope so.
Thanks, Sarah.
I think that's the only shot. Yeah. Give it a go.
How much are you thinking?
There?
I want to make sure we stick our
I
shooter.
know.
I think
why-
that's
Should I
right.
throw 12? No, but that's not going to kill
it's not going to kill it. You have
Here?
to throw an 11.
Okay. There with 11.
Okay.
The really tough part for Alberta is they need the shooter to stick.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it. Give it our best shot. See what happens.
There's a lot tough about this shot.
There's a lot tough about the shot. I think what they've
that angle is not very friendly right now.
I think what they've settled on is they're going to try and skinny this, kick that across, get this to come down on that one, and then roll the shooter in here. And so this one is negated. This one is going to sit in here, and the shooter will sit in here. But they've got to hit so little of this one. It's a tough shot. Skipper's in tough.
And here we go with the last rock. N10. Team Alberta needing 3 to tie it up.
Okay.
Oh, that was so close. What a great effort.
And that will be a steal 1 for Team Nova Scotia, and that will go on the board as a 9-5 win. Team Nova Scotia undefeated at 8-0, move on to the semifinal. Tonight, Team Alberta 5-3. And make sure that you join us again tonight. We'll have the playoff game at 7 p.m. here from the Stratford Rotary Complex. On behalf of myself, Danielle Inglis, my co-host Sean Turruff, and our entire crew here in Stratford, we wish you a great afternoon.